Hello and welcome to another episode of the Played on Repeat podcast, the podcast where I listen to my favorite albums from my childhood from front to back and review them in the context of my current music tastes. This time I'm going to be talking about the No More Tears album by Ozzy Osbourne. This album was Ozzy's sixth studio album out on his own after he left Black Sabbath. It topped out at number 7 in the U.S. Billboard 200, and the album spawned 4 singles, which all reached the top 10 of the American rock charts. Ozzy also won a Grammy for "I Don't Want to Change the World" off of this album. For this album, bassist slash singer Lemmy from Motorhead assisted with some of the writing, as well as Zach Wilde. Um, Lemmy wrote lyrics for 6 songs. Only 4 of the songs ended up being used for the album. This is one of the most successful albums of Ozzy's solo career. It ended up being the second most sales as far as albums go for him, only behind Blizzard of Oz. As far as the rating, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10 before this listen. With all that being said, let's get into it. Track 1, Mr. Tinker Train. This song is a weird one. It's about child abuse and pedophilia, but it's written from the point of view of the pedophile, and it really makes my skin kind of crawl. The song intros with a clip from the movie Sometimes They Come Back. The clip is of children playing. That's suddenly interrupted by a distorted guitar. Then Ozzy says the line, "Would you like some sweeties, little girl?" This is where I realized where the song was going and where I started getting a little uncomfortable. Musically and rhythmically, I do enjoy the song. It's just a very dark in its subject matter. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. As I said, the song has a great solo in it, but that's to be expected from Zach Wilde and honestly any guitar player that Ozzy decides to have in his band. Like if you just go back and think about some of the guitar players Ozzy's had, it's ridiculous. He had Tony Iommi in Black Sabbath. He had Randy Rhoads when he started his solo career. He had Jake E. Lee in his band, as well as Zach Wilde. The man knows how to pick a guitar player, and that's for sure. We go out with a voice chanting, "That's why they call me," and Ozzy saying "Mr. Tinker Train" over and over again before it just kind of ends. Overall, the song is 5 minutes and 56 seconds, and I'm torn because it honestly is a good song instrumentally, like I said. I just can't get with the topic of the song and the perspective he decided to follow in the song. Like, I understand talking about those things maybe, but doing it from the perspective of the pedophile is very strange to me, and it's a really weird way to start an album. With that being said, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Track 2, "I Don't Want to Change the World." This is one of the songs on the album that Lemmy has writing credits on. It talks about religious people's attitude toward Ozzy and his attitude towards them. It's also a song about tolerance. Ozzy earned a Grammy for this track in 1994 for Best Metal Performance. The track opens with an expected distorted riff that goes for a minute. The guitar then cuts out when Ozzy delivers his verse lines. I really enjoy the structure of this song. The chorus is also super simple in the song, but it's kind of what the song needs, and it's very effective. In the second verse, the guitar doesn't cut out for the vocal like it does in the first. Instead, it goes to a chugging riff, kind of low in the mix. The song is another great solo. It has another great solo from Zach. I can't speak highly enough of Zach as a writer of guitar parts and as a player. He's just great, and after the solo, the guitar goes clean, and so does Ozzy's voice. Then after that part, we go right back up into the main riff, and we go back to the structure of the guitar cutting out while Ozzy delivers his lines. We hit the chorus again, and the song just ends after that. The song came in at 4 minutes and 4 seconds, and it's a great song. I'd honestly not heard the studio version in a long time before this listening. Whenever I do listen to the song, most of the time it is the live version that I do listen to almost exclusively. However, I do enjoy the studio version almost as much as I do live. I'm going to give this song an 8.5 out of 10 on this listen. Track 3, "Mama, I'm Coming Home." This is a song that I listened to very often growing up because my dad had a connection to it. He was in the military, and he told me a story about the song being played for the guys on a plane ride back from overseas on one of his trips back home. I can't remember if it was the last time he came back home or if it was just one of the times he got to come home for a visit. But that story always stuck with me, and I've kind of formed a connection with the song through hearing that story multiple times. The song was actually a message to Ozzy's wife Sharon that he was ready to give up the drugs, and he's willing to do so as well as anything else to get her back. The song opens with a beautiful, clean guitar part and Ozzy singing cleanly. The song's a definite ballad, the first one of the album. The bass line in the song is also a good one. The drums in this song are also simple, but they feel very big in the mix. This is one of those songs that everything feels huge, and I love it. The song has another beautiful solo, perfect for the song. It would have been really easy for Zach to overdo it with his solo because of his skill level and just kind of like a lot of people try to show off when they're playing a solo, but Zach did exactly what this song needed. He hit the nail on the head as far as the solo. In the choruses, there's an almost angelic sounding um, chords that are coming from the keyboard behind Ozzy. It almost sounds like a choir in a way. I also love that. We go out on the clean guitar part that started the song. The song is 4 minutes and 11 seconds, and it's one of Ozzy's best in his solo career. I have a huge soft spot for the song, so I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Track 4, Desire. This is a song that's about Ozzy's unwavering passion for his craft. It's about how he always wanted to be exactly what he became and how he fought so hard to become it. The song starts with a slow chugging riff. It's something different than what we've heard for the rest of the album. It pretty much stays the same through the verses. This is a very simple song structure, but I enjoy it. The song, as usual, has another good solo. After the solo, we return to the intro riff. We go out on a chorus, and then the intro guitar part continues for a while and then just fades out. The song comes in at 5 minutes and 45 seconds, and overall, it's an okay one. I'd definitely say, for me at least, it's my least favorite to this point in the album, but it's not offensively bad or anything like that. I'm going to put it at a 7.5 out of 10. Track 5, No More Tears. This song is stated by Ozzy to be about a serial killer. The song originated from a jam session, according to Zakk Wylde, and Ozzy is quoted as saying that he considered the song to be a gift from God since it came out of absolute nowhere. The song opens with an iconic bass line and keyboards. Zach comes in with some slide guitar, which is really different for this genre of music, but it's something that I really like. Bassline continues as Ozzy delivers his first line, and then one of the best guitar riffs ever is played by Zach. It's an iconic riff that everybody knows. Something Zach is also known for that he's been doing this whole album, but I haven't mentioned it until now, is pinch harmonics. The man will throw a pinch harmonic into every riff he plays, and I love it every time. As the chorus comes in, you can hear the angelic keyboard come back into the background, similar to the way it did in "Mama, I'm Coming Home." That bass line is also very persistent in the song. It goes all the way through. The song has a really interesting middle section that almost feels like an entirely different song. It's very calm. You hear sounds that are almost like a wail, and then the guitar solo plays, and it's the best of the album to this point. After that, we go back into the intro, and it's like this song starts all over again. It's like it just completely restarts the song. The song goes on for a verse and a chorus, and then it goes out with a repeated vocal line of "It's just a hand in the bush." The song comes in at 7 minutes and 23 seconds, and it's also one of Ozzy's best. It's one that I listen to pretty often to this day. It's one I'll always have on my playlist, and I will always listen to it often. With that all being said, I'm going to also give it a 9.5 out of 10. Track 6, Won't Be Coming Home. This song is literally impossible to find information for online. It's almost like nobody knows it exists, and I have to honestly say I didn't remember it before I listened to it this time either. It opens with a clean guitar and a small intro solo from Zach. It quickly gains some pace and a distorted guitar sound. It's strange to me that this song didn't get more recognition because I think it's very radio friendly, but it didn't get the radio play like a lot of the songs on this album did. There's another good solo in the middle of the song, and at this point, I don't think Zach can write a bad solo, to be honest. I really enjoy the chorus of this one as well. Zach at the end goes absolutely wild with another solo to outro the song, no pun intended. The song just fades out as Zach continues to solo. This one is 4 minutes and 47 seconds, and it was a pleasant surprise. I cannot believe that I didn't know about this song before this point. To me, it's definitely one of the better songs of the album, and I give it a 9 out of 10. Track 7, Hellraiser. This song is one written by Ozzy, Zach, and Lemmy together. Ozzy recorded the song in 91, and Motorhead later recorded it in 92 because Lemmy liked the song so much that he wanted to record it as well. I love both versions, and they're both in my playlist. I honestly can't decide which one is better. The song opens with an ominous sound coming from the keyboard before the drums kick in, and the song uh, soon has another great guitar riff. The song just sounds so full in the mix and makes every instrument feel huge. Once again, this is another song that has that effect. Um, has another amazing solo by Zach. After the solo, the drum part from the intro comes back, and we go back into verses. After the verses, we then hit another chorus and take it home. The song is 4 minutes and 52 seconds, and once again, it's another legendary song from the album. I've always been torn, like I said, which version I prefer. I go back and forth all the time on it. One time I'll think that Ozzy's is better. The next time I'll think that Lemmy's is better. And to me, that just speaks to how strong of a song overall it is. The fact that two completely different voices can do it and do it so well just tells me that it's a great song. With that all being said, I'm going to put it at a 9 out of 10. Track 8, Time After Time. This song seems to be agreed to be about Ozzy losing love due to his cocaine addiction. The song opens with a clean guitar, then Ozzy begins delivering his lines. This is another ballad. It's very sad sounding as far as the way Ozzy delivers his vocal lines. Also, something weird is how he says the word "me" in the song. I just had to bring that up because I thought it was kind of funny. Every time he says "me," it sounds like "May." I just had to bring it up because it was something that kind of got on my nerves a little bit throughout the song. The song has another short but good solo. The song goes out on the same clean guitar part that it started on. The song is 4 minutes and 19 seconds, and it's a good one. Not my favorite from the album, but every song can't be your favorite from the album. I find the structure and the subject matter both pleasing. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because of all that. Track 9, Zombie Stomp. Ozzy is quoted as saying this song is about someone who's stoned all the time at a disco. I thought that was kind of a funny thing to write an entire song about, but Ozzy's kind of a weird guy, so it's not too strange, not too out of the ordinary. The song opens with a cool bass line, but the intro goes entirely too long, and by too long, I mean literally over 2 minutes. That being said, when they get going, they really get going. But I think the main guitar riff is really cool in this one. But the song does get a little bit repetitive. The song comes in at 6 minutes and 12 seconds, and you could easily chop a minute, if not two, out off of it and make it a better song, in my opinion. The parts of the song that are good, they kind of do just way too many times, and they kind of beat it into the ground. And overall, it's not an awful song, but it's not all that well executed. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Track 10, VH. When Ozzy was asked about what the song title stood for, by the way, he was asked this by Chris Jericho, the wrestler, which I thought was kind of weird in an interview. I don't know why Chris Jericho was interviewing Ozzy, but he stated that it stood for Aston Villa Highway, which with some research I found out is the name of the football or I guess soccer team that he supported as a kid. I really wonder why that is. Like, I don't know if they just couldn't agree on a name for the song or couldn't think of one, but they just kind of threw that as the name. The song starts with an old style, like kind of blues slide guitar. It's another instance of slide guitar on this album. I think it's pretty cool. It's then quickly replaced by a loud, distorted riff. It's a very interesting riff. The song, once again, has a great solo by Zach. This one being heavy on the wah, similar to a way that kind of sounds like a solo that Kirk Hammett would have done, to be honest. The song goes out on the chorus. This song is 4 minutes and 12 seconds, and it's a fun one. It's very upbeat. It's almost funky in a way. Like when I said the guitar riff was interesting, it almost sounds like a funk guitar riff, but with like a lot of distortion on it, which is kind of a completely different thing for a song to do on this album. It's completely different from the rest of the album, but it's something that I enjoyed. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Track 11, Road to Nowhere. This song explores the theme of life's journey and talks about how it's marked by joy and sorrow. It also talks about the uncertain nature of the future. The song starts with another beautiful clean guitar part, then an intro solo. And I just have to say, I absolutely love Zach Wild's tone through the whole album, but this song specifically, it caught my attention. Once again, the song is more of a ballad. I really like the message of the song. It basically says that we all make mistakes, and he did as well, but he wouldn't change his life for the world. The main solo in this song is also awesomely shreddy. It just kind of shows off Zach Wild's chops in a great way. We go out on another shreddy bit by Zach, and we end on him just holding a bend and the song fades out. The song is 5 minutes and 8 seconds, and once again, it's a very fun one. Probably one of my favorites of the album. I've not heard this song in a few years, and it's moved up in my head as far as ranking from the last time that I heard it. This time I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Track 12, Don't Blame Me. So technically, the last track was just that we just went over was the last song on the album at the time that it was released. But the next two songs were added to the 2002 reissue of the album, and that's the version I always had. So I'm going to be going over these last two songs as well, even though they weren't originally on the album. This song, interestingly, has two versions. One that was originally on the CD that was released right when the 2002 re-release happened, and this version that now you can stream on Spotify and stuff. I don't know why that is, but they kind of restructured the song, I guess, and maybe added different lyrics, stuff like that. The song starts with a distorted guitar riff and a bass line. This is a cool. There's a cool secondary guitar part that lays under the main riff in the song that I also really enjoy. That cool part takes center stage and kind of becomes the main riff in the second half of the song, which I really like the decision to do that because it's kind of like they teased this cool part in the beginning of the song, and then it takes its place as the main thing in the second half of the song. The song goes out with Ozzy repeating "Don't blame me," and then it finally fades out. Song is 4 minutes and 59 seconds. It's another strong one for the album. I feel like it's a fun one to add to the album on re-release in the way that they did it as well. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Track 13, Party with the Animals. This song talks about embracing one's inner strength in the face of a challenge. The song starts with a really heavy riff compared to the rest of the album. The guitar tone in this song in general is much heavier than the rest of the album. I also really enjoy the speed and just the tempo of this song. The drummer's performance in this song is also my favorite of the album. The song goes out on another separate, really cool guitar riff. I like how this song has multiple different, like really cool guitar riffs. Overall, the song was 4 minutes and 18 seconds, and on the original release, I would say that Road to Nowhere was a great closer to the album, but I think this one was even better as a closer to the album. With that being said, I think that those two songs are kind of neck and neck in my head, and because of that, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 as well, just like I did Road to Nowhere. With that all added up and averaged out, that brings us to an exact 8.5 out of 10, which is exactly what I had this album at before this listen. Something I've learned with this podcast is how in touch I am with my music tastes and how almost everything I feel basically the same today as I did the first times I listened to these albums, which I think is pretty cool. I've been very close on the other two episodes, but this one I was spot on, and I think that's pretty cool. With that being said, that kind of ends the review. But I was going to talk about. I was talking with my dad earlier today about how I could do things with this podcast and how I had a little bit of a hard time coming up with albums. He suggested me possibly doing top tens of my favorite songs from certain artists, and I kind of like that idea. So I may do that whenever I run out of albums, but I can't necessarily say when that would be. But that's something that I may do. Once again, thank you for joining me and listening to this episode. If you have any requests for albums, send them my way. Comment them on YouTube. Comment them on my TikTok, whatever. And all you got to do is ask, and I'm sure I'll probably get to it. With that all being said, I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you.